figured maybe we'd do kind of a vlog slash working on a little bit of a project beginning here. So we can, I don't know, I'll just show you a few things about what it takes to own this kind of stuff. If you remember a while back, recently, I picked up these pretty cool Cooper reactor pads. And one of the things I mentioned was I'm going to need new straps for them. And I'll show you why. In these older straps, this leather for the straps has a polyurethane or a PU coating for the color. And what happens over time is that skin coating breaks down and starts to just flake right off. So for right now, I don't have intentions of replacing the top two sewn-on straps on those. If anything, I may just flake that skin off because it's actually really easy to do. I've pulled all the removable straps, and let me give you just kind of a idea here of what it's like making straps. So the nice part about this is these leg straps, the buckles are almost always in great condition. You very rarely get a bad buckle off a leg strap. The first thing I need to know is how long is my strap. There's an overlap to attach the buckle. That's usually about 1 inch. We can double check that. Yeah, it's 1 1/8 inches. So I want to take the curved part of it and measure down, and I'm at about 33 inches plus 1 inch, and I'm going to give it 1/4 inch and 1/4. So I know I want 34 1/4 inch straps for my new straps. First thing I do is up here, I cut the buckles off. Just cut through the loop and pull it off, and there's my buckle, and we put those aside. Then I can take that strap. For now, I never throw them away. You never know what you're going to need them for, and someday in the future I may find a solution to recolor them or whatever. So this project involves having some certain tools, and from here I will end up moving over to my leather bench. But over at the leather bench, we're going to punch our slots that are needed for the center bar of the buckle. I own a really cool over 100-year-old rivet press that, thanks to, shout out here, thanks to Glenn Miller, he was able to source a machinist that was able to make me the proper press die. I'll show you here. That's a star press, so it breaks it into a star on the one side and then flat on the other side of the rivet. And I needed the special press die to do that to fit my machine. And yeah, so big shout out to Glenn for sourcing that for me and getting that made custom for my machine, because it's so old you just can't find those kind of parts. And even if you did, it'd probably be worn out. It's been pretty fun being back to playing every Friday. Even though it's pickup, it's still pretty cool. There's no pressure, you know, there's no Stanley keg on the line. A little bit of pressure because, you know, I self-induced stuff, just trying to play my best and learn from what I'm doing. Enjoyable nonetheless, and I get to continue to take different kits out on the ice. I'm hoping to get this set of pads done relatively soon so that I can put this kit together. Let me just make sure I got them all. 3, 4, 5, and 5 is 10. So the next step is we want to know how wide these straps are. I like to use millimeters because it's easier to measure, and these are a dead even 2 centimeters. Next thing we do is take our handy dandy good old-fashioned strap cutter, and there is a gauge on it, but because this is, you know, just wood burned in, I always take my ruler, put it on top. I already adjusted this a while back. I am right on the 2 centimeter mark to the razor blade there. I'm hoping my blade is sharp. It should be. And 34 1/4 inches will be our size that we're going to make them. But first I'm going to cut some strips. What I have here, this is black Latigo leather. Now the nice thing about this is a true dyed all the way through type leather. This is not that polyurethane type of skin stuff. And so over the years it won't have that kind of problem that the other straps always had. Hopefully this all shows up and I don't bounce that camera around too much. But it's pretty cool, pretty awesome that I can just take this strap cutter, feed my leather into it. Try to show this camera here. Big trick is you want to keep the edge of your leather against the flat edge of the inside of this handle here, and that will cut your strip. Get a little bit of tension on both sides. Getting it started is always the most difficult part for me. It's worth mentioning too that I did measure the length. I compared the length of those straps that I pulled off. They are all exactly the same. There were no straps that were longer or shorter. And also this hide, when we split the hide, we did do a straight cut. So I know that I'm starting from a straight edge. Let's, while we're doing this, let's just do a quick measure of this and see how many lengths I'm gonna get out of it. So if I take my scissors here, just cut a straight edge across here. Okay, so 34 and a quarter. So I'm going to get 2 and have a little bit of extra. I need 10 straps, so I need 5 slices. And then those extra pieces will just end up being sections I can use for new toe buckles for other pads when needed. So, back to what was I saying here. Hopefully you've been enjoying all the new videos. I have been somehow found myself able to do 2 videos a week lately. And I'm hoping to hear some feedback if everybody likes that new way I'm doing it, where the gear video I spend a little more time talking about how I chose my kit, you know, a little bit more about the gear maybe, and intermix some highlights or clips from the gameplay for the first video, and then just follow it up with a game edit video. I think it makes for more viewable type of content. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I've looked at the YouTube algorithm or analytics, I mean, and nobody was watching the whole video anyways when I was doing the gear followed by just gameplay stuff. So I figure this way, maybe it's 2 different audience types, and people can choose, and I'm not wasting time for people that aren't interested in either the gear or the gameplay. One more to cut here. I know that camera's bouncing, I'm sorry about that. Maybe this one won't be as bouncy and I can use some more from it. Let me just tell you, that is the slickest tool. Been in use for probably 100 years or more. What an amazing tool. You saw how nice and smooth it cuts that leather. And we'll put this hide away. Yeah, so still playing. As of right now, it looks like still going to be playing every Friday. Be right back. Don't fall. At least for a while. I'm booked for the day after Thanksgiving already. Just played a couple days ago on Friday. And still have, of course, that video to be editing. That'll come out sometime this week, or end of the week anyway. If I get some time on Turkey Day, I might do that editing. There, that is good. Set that over here for now. Okay, the next step in this is now we have to cut these lengths. We need to find the good end, bad end. Like this is a little bit chewed up on the end down here, so we're going to leave that as the end of it. Start our straight lines on these. I don't have a affiliate link or anything, but these are Cutco super shears. These things will cut anything. I love these scissors. Now, they're not the best as a detail scissor. They do have a serrated edge to them, so they're not recommended for anything clean cut, but you can see how easily I'm cutting through this leather with them, and they're not specialty leather shears that are expensive. All right, I already trimmed that one. All righty, so now move these over. We need the ruler. We know we said we were doing 34 1/4, and I'm going to go to 34 1/2, and I am going to use my shears, my Cutco super shears. Oops, shoot. I said they cut through anything, right? They do. But I was at the tip of the scissor at the end of it. So let's double check my cut. 34 1/2. Now we can pair them up here. And these small sections here will get saved, and I mean that becomes toe straps, it becomes a handful of toe buckles and whatnot. Yeah, I was rambling about something, right? I was talking about hockey, playing the pickup games. Really super. Again, shout out to my friend Dave that runs the pickup skate I do. And if you are somebody that manages a group of skaters, he has a system he's developed for managing skates and checking in players and assigning teams and whatnot. This is not a paid advertisement. This is just my own personal endorsement of perfectskate.com. I recommend you go check that out. Reach out to him if you got any questions or want to see a demo. It is a cool system. We've been using it for quite a while while it was in beta. Seems to make things go through pretty smooth. But if you run any kind of an organized like weekly skate event, it's a really great tool for that. And it is a very economical tool for that. Again, I recommend you check it out, and if you got any questions, reach out to them. So this is a not too bad of a process to do straps. It doesn't take too long, and you're doing it, in bulk. You're batching your work. Do all the different steps one at a time for all the straps. So like I strip them all, cut them all, measure them all, that. Yeah, then this little bundle here will always be useful. In fact, some of these are maybe even long enough that they would be a replacement thigh strap. Definitely long enough for thigh strap. Not necessarily on this set of pads, but on maybe another set of pads I have that need black straps. Well, that is all we can do on this bench. I'm going to move the cameras, go over there to that side of the building, and we'll maybe do some work at the leather bench. All right, so here we are over at the leather station. We'll set these over here. Might as well set these over here for now. We are done with the strap cutter, so we can hang that up. I added a little eyelet so I can hang it just like I added a little eyelet to my mallet. First thing we need is a slot here. And for that, we use a slot punch. I can tell you that we want that to be roughly 1 inch to the end. So if I take this and I just put a little mark, that's close enough. I need to sharpen that. I eyeball it. I'm going to flip this around because I'm getting a shadow. Yeah, so I want that to be about 1 inch from the end, and we want that centered. We're on a rubber mat here, and we just pop it, and there's our slot that our strap runs through, like so, just like that. This was just a little thing that Glenn Miller taught me, is on this little partial loop here is to nip my corners so that I don't have corners at the edge, which can get caught on things, and I don't know, just a cleaner look when you do it like that. Okay, so the next thing before we do anything else there is now we want a point at the end of our strap, and that's this punch tool, which this bad boy is getting to be a little dull. So I try to go as close to the end as I can, and I don't usually do this with cameras and lights on me, so I do my best to center it, and I pop it, and that little piece comes off, and there's our strap. I'm not going to bore you by doing all these straps right now. I'm just going to show you the one, and then we'll get this thing wrapped up. Here's my rivet, and this is my riveter, and we need to drop the rivet. The flat side, which is the finish edge, that goes down in just like so. The nice thing about these is they are this is a combination punch and rivet press, so I don't even have to punch my hole ahead of time. I just run my buckle through, get it pretty well centered there and snug, and because the star will be on the top, I want to make sure I put it in that way, make sure my buckle's on correctly, which it is, and I want to about split the difference and hit the halfway point. I usually just kind of eyeball it from one side to the other, hold both edges together, and then right there you can hear the hole press, and there's the crimp, and there's our star, and there's our finish edge. Now all that's left are to punch our holes. And the way we do that, there's a couple things we need to do. First, let me just show you with an old strap. You don't have holes all the way. Your holes stop at about 17 inches from the rivet. And then this is old and stretched out, but it's roughly 3/4 of an inch, and I like that gap for my holes. And you don't start all the way down at the point. You start at about the 2-inch mark. So the first thing we do is flip our strap around, take our little pencil, and it's nice to do it on the back side here. We do a dot at about 2 inches, and then let me move this over here so we'll do it a little different. Let's just use the little ruler if the camera stops moving. Okay, I keep bumping it. So now I can't see the ruler. I don't usually do it with so many obstacles here. Alright, we'll try it down here. Let's see if we can turn the camera a little bit. We'll just eyeball it from here. So about 3/4 inch, and then move that here, 3/4 inch, move that here. So you get the idea, right? We do that all the way up to about 17 inches. Then I have a handy dandy, easy to use hole punch, and just line it up somewhat centered there. There's my hole. Having a real hard time seeing this stuff with this bright light going. So I'll end up with my holes going all the way up the strap. I've already got my point on there, and there's my strap, not completed. Let me park this project for right now, shut this off, move the camera over, and we'll wrap this up with a few thoughts. All right. Well, I didn't mean to bore you with that. I just knew I had to do this project, thought it might be a good impromptu way to do a little bit of a vlog and show you a little bit. Back on the topic of these pads, this is my project going on right now. I'm planning on doing just a little bit of touch-up. I don't think I'm going to touch up a whole lot on them. Maybe a little bit of this blue. I'm not going to mess with this here. I don't think I'll do anything with that. I may give a little bit of a touch-up up here on these rolls. I've decided I'm not going to be able to get rid of much of this without damaging. This is that like shoe glue or whatever they call it. I don't even see a cut under there, so I don't know why that's there. I thought I was going to find a little bit of a skate cut, and so far I haven't seen anything when I did peel some of the edges. I'm going to remove the improper toe buckles, and if you look underneath here, might not be able to see it, but there's actually the original holes here for the toe lace. Like I said, when I got these, they don't, you don't usually see a closed toe like this with buckles. Somebody added these and they had them riveted on. I'll be able to deal with that. I'll pop these off and then snip the rivets and pull them out. Won't be a big deal. Won't be hard to do. And then hopefully, you know, just a little more maybe scrubbing and cleaning up on some of the dirtiness to them. Hopefully get these out on the ice real soon with the matching gloves that are down there. Anyway, this really wasn't too much of a vlog. I'm sorry. It's more of a DIY, or hey, look at me, I know how to make straps, I guess. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, please follow me at The Cooper Goalie. If you like this video, hit a thumbs up. If you haven't done the subscribe and bell notice yet, please do that. If you look down in the video description, you'll see I do have a couple of new links down in there. And as always, thanks for watching.